On today's Ask Kari, I have a sweet treat for you. You asked, can you use stencils on cookies?
Cookie! Me love cookie!
Luckily for you and me, I found the answer right after this. We are joined today by our great friend, Terry Wickline. Terry is an amazing baker, and I don't think that's even a good enough explanation of what she does. It's fabulous, great stuff. And so today we wanted to bring her on to help us show you guys how we can use stencils on cookies.
An absolute wonderful thing to do, gives them a personal appearance, and a very easy technique to do.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna start with the basics.
Okay.
First, we're gonna talk about the cookie itself. What type of cookie do you recommend for decorating something like this?
I prefer a sugar cookie.
Okay.
Just taste-wise, specifically. You can try different recipes if you want to, but try to find one that doesn't make the cookie spread out.
Okay.
That they all become uniform.
Okay.
Then I usually let them cool overnight and then use a color flow icing the next day. And I always let my color flow icing set at least 2 days. That way when you go to put your stencil or anything else on it, it's not going to crack or have any flaws in it.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're looking at a 3-day prep.
Yes.
Before we even get to the stenciling.
Yes.
So this is something that if you are going to be wanting to do this, you are going to have to plan ahead of time.
Absolutely.
So the holidays are coming up. You might be making cookies for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all those things. Valentine's Day, Easter.
Yes. Count on 3 days to get to the point that you can decorate them.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
So then you ice them for 3 days. So or ice them and let them set for 2 days. And then when it comes to the icing that you're going to use on your stencil, what do you choose for it?
I do spray paint.
Spray paint. Okay.
I do spray paint.
All right.
Yes.
So.
Always make sure that you have a food safe.
Okay.
And it has to be for an airbrush if that's what you prefer to use.
Okay.
Now you can do royal icing, and you can take a spatula and take your royal icing and go over this and then pull your stencil up, and it makes a nice raised
Gotcha.
Part of your cookie. But I prefer, just due to the amount of cookies that I do, I usually just do spray paint.
Spray paint. Okay. So with that being said, the paint that we typically use, typically use acrylic paint. You are not going to want to use those for your cookies.
No.
You're going to want to make sure that it is a food safe,
Edible paint.
paint,
Yes.
which is a big thing. And speaking of food safe, all of the stencils at StudioR12 are safe for you to use on your cookies. They are reusable. You'll just rewash them with warm, soapy water, get them clean, and then you'll be good to use them time and time and time
And
again.
I've used this one. You all made this one for me. I've used this several times, and you just put it under the water, and it cleans up very nicely.
Perfect. From the mouth of someone who does it all the time. Okay, and so then you do have your sprayer.
I've used several sprayers. I've tried different brands. The Cookie Countess seems to be the one that I prefer the best. It has a nice even spray to it, doesn't have the blotchy part to it. It has worked better for me on the Cookie Countess.
Gotcha.
She also has wonderful videos on her website that you can watch, and she can help you pinpoint something you're doing wrong. If it doesn't look the way you want it to, she'll help you pinpoint what you're doing wrong.
Gotcha. So just like with watching our videos, watching videos for this is
Yes.
really going to help you get to where...
She's very good at this. Yes.
Okay. All right. So show us how we're going to do this.
Well, I like this little nifty gadget.
Okay.
That came from Cookie Countess also.
Okay.
But it keeps your stencil nice and in place.
Okay.
So, and when you go to put it on your cookie, it raises it up to where it's not making that imprint into
Perfect.
the cookie.
Okay, great.
So I like to use that. Again, this is food safe
Okay.
collar. And you just put your collar in there.
All right. This is so cool.
And you just have to play around with the setting
Okay.
to see what works best for
Okay.
you too. But you'll just leave that on your cookie.
And she's just painting it, guys. She is just spray painting this cookie. And you can see, I can't wait to take off the stencil. It's just like one of our projects that we do here where you take off the stencil and you have your big unveil. And there you
make
go.
sure
And guys,
it's-
that took no
no time
time.
at
That
all.
was so
Right.
quick just to get a design on there.
I do like to make my stencils as big as what the cookie
Okay.
is. That way you don't have overflow onto the other part of the cookie.
And then that's just really easy to switch over. What all types of stencils have you used, different designs on your cookies?
What do you mean?
So you've used like the star kind of, then we're using the thank
yes,
you.
I
so
used, I can't think of what it's called, the squiggly lines.
The chevron, yes.
I've used chevron. I've used just little hearts. There's all kinds of background that you can put on it.
Yes.
Because then when you go to put this on, and I usually do 2 different collars, but where I'd have to wash this up.
So this is something that's going to be great for all of the embellishment stencils
Oh,
that
yes.
have the polka dots, the hearts, the
Yes.
stripes, any of that. Any of the designs are going to be amazing for using on your stenciling on your cookies.
And then that makes a nice
Perfect, and a thank you, and then
presentation.
you can layer them. Oh my gosh, this is so cool, and you saw how fast it was. So we're going to do our cookies, let them set.
Yes.
Do our icing, let it set, and then we are going to use a food safe paint. And then you just spray it right on.
And you can mix and match. You can do all kinds of different, like I said, I usually do 2 different collars so the thank you looks a little bit more darker than
Sure.
you can do Halloween, you can do little pumpkins in the
Right.
background and put happy Halloween. Same way with Thanksgiving and Christmas, all kinds of different
Yeah.
things that you can mix and match.
We are going to be taking our cooking, baking to the next level with all these stencils. We're going to have to.
And
have
you
back.
guys they can make anything, believe me. I had a specific baby shower that they wanted, Be Brave Little One. I couldn't find it anywhere that would fit my cookie. I went right to Patty, and you guys made it for me, and it looked beautiful on the
Wonderful.
cookie. So they can do anything.
All right, Terry, this is amazing. Thank you
Oh, you're
so
welcome.
much for joining us.
Thank you.
You asked and we answered. Now you know you can take your StudioR12 stencils in the kitchen. For more videos like this, be sure to like and subscribe to our StudioR12 page and check out StudioR12.com for all of your stenciling needs. This is Kari reminding you to paint your world pretty. It's important.